Hello again. I see you have returned to me, either in search of the truth or just a comforting voice that obscures your abstract loneliness for a time behind a veneer of companionship. Things have been hard the last year, and I'm sure most of you are sitting home alone and capable of experiencing the normal festivities of this hallowed holiday. In that case, I hope you are safe, or as safe as you can feel in your own home, alone, defenseless. No matter where you are or how you chose to spend your time within the exceptional darkness of this night, I welcome your ears, hearts, and minds to listen to today's stories. I am the voice that comes creeping out of your old radio when you swear it wasn't plugged in. Constantine. I am the host of this lovely little show, so join me in the dark corner of your room that you look at while in bed, swearing you saw something move and now stare unblinkingly in a fearful attempt to comprehend what is hidden just out of view. Constantine's Corner. Tonight, we celebrate one of my favorite holidays, Halloween. I just love the decor, the embracing of all that is dark and morbid. Oh, and don't get me started on the costumes. The enjoyment of putting on another face, hiding oneself and donning another form that is unshackled by the consequences of your normal mortal life, even for just one night. Just fantastic. And it's the one day a year I can have eldritch chanting coming from my basement and not have the police show up. Just amazing holiday. Whichever of you came up with it, bravo. So listeners, I hope you are enjoying yourself, dressed in costume and celebrating in whatever way you can. Now, on to our first story. Purple coffee, the mysterious beverage we all enjoy. I have been investigating purple coffee for some time, trying to find its source. Well, the other day I had a break in the case. I managed to acquire some of the coffee unopened from a convenience store. Its packaging was strange. It was just a black bag with almost nothing on any side, except for white bold words labeling it coffee. On the back, there was no nutritional information, but near the bottom seam of the bag was seemingly an address in small white text. So, I set down the bag as it was getting difficult to restrain its struggling movements, and I opened my GPS to track down the address. I set off down La Puerta Highway, leaving the city and heading north. I followed the GPS for a time, and I found it to be leading me towards the San Chiansky mountain range on the east side of our island. I slowly began to drive down the long Chiansky Passage and found myself approaching a monolithic building tucked away between the mountains. I turned off my headlights as I drove up in the night. As I drove down the road, I read a sign on my right-hand side that said, Humane Labs. I could see several armed guards patrolling the gates. I slowed to a stop and looked past the gates. Behind it, I could see billowing smokestacks atop the building, and I could see several white-coated individuals standing near the doors, and a few large tanker trucks driving into the facility. It was strange. The guards then noticed me, and a flashlight shone into my vehicle, blinding me for a moment, so I put it in reverse and I sped away. I had so many questions. What was this facility? Who owned it? Why is the address on the back of the purple coffee? I got home, and I threw the pulsating bag of coffee into my trash can, and I sat down to think as I stared at my wall of papers and string lines. After disassociating for what was probably several hours, I jumped up and ran to my computer. So, here's the thing, listeners. I did a little research with the help of my old pal Google, and found that the Humane Labs is a facility that develops and tests chemicals. Oh, and so much more. Cryogenics, pharmacology, molecular biology, microbiology, biochemistry, botany, epigenetics, nanochemistry, chemical engineering, crystallography, biotechnology, genetics, and genealogy. This facility dabbles in all kinds of scientific fields. I wanted to know more, so I tried to dig deeper. Here's the craziest thing, listeners. I spent hours trying to gather information on who owns this facility. Is it a subsidiary of a corporation? A government compound? A private business? I could not find anything. There was no trace of who owned and maintained this building, and what it produced or for whom. How is this possible, listeners? How has this facility been a part of our city for possibly decades, and no one's asked these questions? I mean, who operates it? What are they researching? What are they creating? I'm on the trail of something, listeners. I know it. I need to find more clues and information. For now, I'm at a dead end, but as I discover more on this story, listeners, I will keep you updated. I would say to play it safe and avoid the coffee, but we all know how incredibly addictive it can be. There's just so many questions, and so little answers. And now for our next story. I have to admit something, listeners. I picked a very specific time to go live on air this evening. There is a part of our daily life within this city that we are both overly aware of and unabashedly unknowledgeable about. Its presence is always felt, but given little attention. Its part in our lives is unmistakable, yet seemingly obscure. Yes, listeners, I am speaking about tsunami warnings. Right on cue. That echoing noise you hear behind me is a sound we are all too familiar hearing. It commands immediate attention and demands immediate action. These mysterious sirens have been an oddity in this city I have pondered about for some time. And tonight, I believe, is the night that I investigate further, live on air. You see, listeners, these sirens are very interesting. They herald a storm incoming, and all of us are well aware of its meaning. Here's the thing, listeners. After several days listening to the sirens and looking at my watch, I realize something very strange. These warnings blare at almost exactly the same time, every single day. Like clockwork, we can hear the sirens echo across the island at 2 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8:30 p.m. Now, these times do sometimes vary, but they do happen every single day. Now, if you thought to yourself, wow, I never really thought of that before, that is strange, then hold on to that thought, listeners. Clutch it dearly. Then ask yourselves why you never noticed before. See, it's odd, isn't it, listeners? Such a large, repeating event being a part of our daily lives, yet all of us give it no thought. It is so ingrained in our mental clock that we don't even question it anymore. That alert goes out on our phones, the sirens blare. We don't even hesitate. We seek shelter and we wait for the all clear. We're so well trained, aren't we, listeners? Interesting. And it begins. You see, listeners, sometimes a storm rolls in, like the one we're having currently, but not always. That's strange too, isn't it, listeners? You never realized it before, but the skies are most often clear when these warnings come. We don't even question it. The inevitability of a storm is just accepted as fact. We go inside, we brace for the worst, and it seemingly rarely comes. But here's the connection, listeners. The moment that made me realize something strange must be going on. It is a verifiable fact that our government controls the weather. And they also air the tsunami warnings. So, listeners, there's a question I have for you tonight. Ask yourselves, why? Why would the government use these sirens and the weather like this? If their goal is to get us all indoors, then they are successful for the most part. But for what purpose could this serve? It is strange, listeners, but I want to legitimately ask you something. Have you ever seen damage? Left your home after the all clear and seen wreckage and wind-torn roofs and knocked over power lines? Because I haven't. But, listeners, the lack of damage does not mean things are not different. Oh no. Sometimes it is barely noticeable. Sometimes it is glaringly obvious. But sometimes, after these tsunamis, things will have changed within our city. You may notice it slowly at first. Was that shop there before? Oh, I guess my phone must have updated. Wait, wasn't that building located somewhere else? These minor or major incongruities in our reality, shifts in the way things are, they're suddenly and almost immediately accepted as though things have always been this way, and life just seems to go on. And, as if these thoughts were not shocking or intriguing enough, I have another question for you to ponder. Have you ever actually seen a tsunami happen in this city? I mean it. I do not mean the sirens or being involved in sheltering yourself. Have you ever looked out the window and watched a wall of water sweep through the streets, destroying everything in its path? You haven't, have you? I haven't. In fact, if anything, you don't really remember seeing anything, do you? The siren happens and you prepare, and then next thing you know, it's over. It is forgotten. A minor blackout of memory. There's always a brief pause as people slowly leave their homes, but quickly, city life returns to normal, as though nothing ever happened at all. And here's the thing, listeners. I don't remember either. I mean, I know the sirens happen. I know I run to hide, and then the next thing I know, the sun is out, and the sirens have stopped, and I'm leaving my apartment to go about my normal life. It's like I know the sirens are there, but after it's over, I have to struggle to hold on to the memory of them. And the more I struggled against the haze, the more I remembered, the more I noticed. And that's why I'm doing this tonight. So, listeners, now that I have you intrigued, I will tell you why I selected this time to air the broadcast. I have a plan, listeners. I'm going to keep recording and broadcast live as the tsunami happens. If I can record it for you all to hear while you hide in your homes, then maybe we can finally know what really goes on behind the scenes. I will look out my window, go outside even, and recite all that I see live on air so we can finally understand this mystery. We have about 5 minutes, listeners, until it hits. I will be honest now. There's a part of me who is kind of scared. The storm is growing stronger outside, and I'm here alone in the Rebel radio tower, which is just a large, empty studio with the sole light source that of the blinking red on-air light that is slowly fading in and out. Ever since what happened to Steve the intern, I've been alone up here. Well, I mean, not really alone, listeners. I mean, as alone as I can be medicated, but you know what I mean. I'm sure most of you are already heading to or within a safe place. The Rebel radio station is located at the top of a hill near Sandy Shores, so gods forbid there is any real watery threat. I probably won't be in any danger, but... Wait, what? Hello? Sorry listeners, I thought I heard the door to the studio briefly open. Actually, hey, one moment, listeners. I actually just realized that the door to the front of the building it's old and it swings open in the wind. So I think I might need to prop it shut so we don't have any rain damage in the studio. I will be right back. Give me just a moment, everybody. Alright, I'm back. Sorry I was gone so long. I had to grab one of the chairs and I ended up sticking it up against the doorknob. The wind is really picking up, so I just wanted to make sure it was secure. Wait, hey, who moved the... Oh, I guess I bumped the mic when I got it. Okay. There we go, that's better. So, listeners, I think we only have a few minutes before the tsunami hits. Gods, it's getting cold in here. I really wish Steve was here to get me some nice warm coffee right about now. Rest in pieces, Steve. Oh, I peeked outside while I was fixing the door. It doesn't look like much more than your everyday thunderstorm. The winds are pretty bad, but definitely not tsunami bad. Okay. What the hell was that? Listeners, I don't know if the mic picked it up, but I just heard a sound of something falling in the room just directly across from me. It's the audio editing booth. I'm separated from it by a pane of thick glass, but it's pitch black on the other side because, well, I have the lights off to save on the bills. Gods, I've seen too many horror movies for this shit to be happening right now. Now, what caused that noise? Ah! Sorry, listeners. So, a funny story. I kind of forgot that I actually wasn't alone in the studio. My cat, Quiet, was accidentally locked in the audio booth across from me, and she was clawing at the door. It looks like she knocked something over in there and trying to get my attention. She saw my face through the glass and she jumped up to look at me, and it scared me half to death. And, well, okay, I sort of fell over. You know, who's a good girl? Well, listeners, at least I'm not alone anymore. I mean, that's a plus. Yeah. Don't knock shit over, dummy girl. Huh. I just realized something, listeners. I was looking out the window that's in my studio room, and, it looks like all of the lights in the area around me are off. In fact, all I can see out my window is just rain and darkness. Wait. Who is that? Listeners, I picked up my mic so I can carry it with me. There is someone outside. I mean, not but 50 feet from my window. I can't really make it out. It's just a black silhouette. They're just standing out there, just on the edge of the dirt road that leads up to this station. They don't even seem to be bothered by the weather. Oh, by the gods, what the hell? Listeners? Lightning just flashed for a moment outside, and after the blinding light faded, the figure is gone. Yeah, the figure's gone. I'm peering out the window in every direction, and yeah, they're just gone, listeners. Maybe I was just seeing things, you know. I mean, maybe the docs just need to up my meds or something, but I swear there was a human figure out there. Listeners, someone or something is knocking on my door, and I don't mean the front entrance door that I boarded up with a chair. I mean the door that leads into this recording booth from the hallway. I don't really know what to do, listeners. I don't think I should answer the... Okay, listeners, if I get axe murdered live on air, I want you to remember me. Also, I leave all 47 of my cats, including Quiet, to Agnes Michaels. Just please remember to feed her. Okay, I'm going to boldly and, courageously open the studio door and face whatever is out there. Okay, I'm gonna set the mic down on the table, but you should still be able to hear me. If I don't make it, tell the mysterious robed figures that show up to my funeral that my debt is paid. Okay, here we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hello? Is anyone out there? This is Constantine's Corner. Do you want an interview? Hello? Listeners, I don't see anything in the hallway, but the lights are still off. I'm going to go make sure that the front door is still secured. I will be right back. Okay. Okay, listeners, I I don't really know what is going on anymore. The front door to the studio is still securely shut, but something strange is going on. There is scratching at the... Here, let me just show you. Okay, I am now, right down the hall at the entrance to the building. Just listen. Here. Do you hear it? It's getting louder. Wait, no, it's not just the front door, listeners. The scratching is coming from... It's coming from all the walls. I can hear scratching at the walls. Even the interior ones, with presumably nothing on the other side but an empty room. I think I'm gonna barricade myself in the studio, listeners. I don't know what the fuck is going... Oh shit! What in the name of the gods is that? Okay, listeners. Fuck, I don't even know if you can still hear me. Something broke open the front doors of the building while I was walking back down the hallway. I got out one of the dozen or so knives that I carry on me at all times, and I ran towards the entrance, whether propelled by survival instincts to fight or flee, or, I don't know, fueled by terror. I ran to the door to confront whatever was outside that was trying to get in. Then I saw it. I came back and I grabbed the microphone again. I am now standing at the edge of the now open door. I promised you all that no matter what happened, I would capture it live for you to hear. By the gods, I see something outside the building. Out in the storm, there is something there in the wind and rain. The sirens are still blaring. I can see something. Wait. I see you, listeners. All of you. You are standing, scattered, frozen in place as though time itself has stopped. I stand here now, shaking with adrenaline and fear pumping through me, and I just look out and you are just standing there, unmoving, unblinking. I don't even know if anyone is listening to this right now. I think I might be alone. Wait. What was that? By the gods. Listeners, the world around is just pure blackness. There's no artificial lights at all. It is as though the island itself has become a roiling storm. But just now, above me in the sky, the only light poetically provided by the same storm began to shine as bolts of lightning arced across the clouds. And yes, there's something above us, above me, a monolithic something. It is illuminated by the occasional bursts of lightning. It hides in the clouds above us all. By the gods, how could something be that big? It's moving. It seems to be shifting and sliding just out of view behind the veil of the storm. I'm stepping out now into the rain to get a better look. Wait. The shape in the clouds, it stopped moving. Is that... What is that? Something is dripping from the clouds in the distance. It's like rain, but it's like black tar. Oh God. More and more spouts of it are cascading down in thick black waterfalls from the clouds. They're moving strangely, as though they're alive, like tendrils of inky blackness that, I don't know, flow like liquid. Oh, dear listeners, a tendril of this form has reached down from the clouds and is pooling on the road not but 500 feet from me. It is both reaching for its surroundings and flowing around them like water. What is this? This can't be real. You're all just standing. It is bubbling up around your legs and moving around you. Its heavy weight does not even seem to shift you from your stiff, unblinking stances. By the gods, listeners, this fluid is pouring from the sky at a momentous rate now. It is beginning to flood several feet now, and it's cascading around the buildings. Some of your forms have been swallowed completely by it. Oh, wait. What is it? What is it doing? Listeners, it's doing something to the... It's changing things. Moving them. It's shifting them. It's remaking them. Listeners, I'm up on my hill, and the black liquid now flows around it several meters high. It is washing over everything like a wave, and I now stand on an island amongst a cascading sea of darkness. It shows no signs of stopping, and I fear now that I have made a grave mistake in waiting to see this. What is happening?
It begins.
Who are... Wait. No. What are you?
You are very naughty. Didn't you hear the sirens?
What is going on? Who...
Shh. Don't worry. This will all be over soon.
Wait, no. What are you? What is going on? I need to know why is this happening? Why is it changing things?
Just take a deep breath, and silence will follow.
What? Wait. Oh gods. No, the liquid. It's rushing up now around my ankles. I'm gonna try to get back into the studio. It's... shit. My feet are stuck. Wait, it's grabbing me. Oh, son of a bitch. Well, hello again. I see you have returned to me, either in search of the truth or maybe just a comforting voice that obscures your abstract loneliness for a time behind a veneer of companionship. Things have been hard the last year, and I'm sure some of you are sitting home alone, incapable of experiencing the normal festivities of this hallowed holiday. In that case, I hope you are safe and... Wait. That can't be right. It says I've been live for 35 minutes. Did I leave the mic on? I'm sorry, listeners. I know I just began this live broadcast, but Gods, I'm having the strangest feeling of deja vu. Wait, did I? No. No, that can't be real. Listeners, I need to go. I love all you human beings. I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning into Constantine's Corner. Stay safe on this wonderful holiday, and maybe stay indoors. Just remember to, never blink as you stare into the dark corner of your room in the middle of the night, because if you blink, that's when it moves. Good night. Yeah, hello, Doc. I think I might need to increase my meds again. Okay, something really weird is going on, and I don't really know what's... Don't you tell me to calm down, okay? I need something to forget.